I don't give a shit what would happen to her. I give a shit about the fact that more often, Remy, more often than your case of your woman getting fucking horribly whatever he was going to do to her, this horrible event that was going to take place from this guy who knocks on your door for a half an hour, whatever that was going to happen to her, I know that that fucking 6-year-old kid who gets shot every fucking Halloween, okay, was worth just as much as she was worth. That life destroyed or ruined is just as valuable as that woman's life, and that you're not going to win in a numbers game, Remy. More kids are going to get killed by these stupid fucking guns that irresponsible gun owners possess than criminals are going to get killed, and that's just the fucking fact.
Remy, Gary's right.
You say it's just a fact. How many kids are killed each year in this country by accidental shootings? How many? Tell me.
Hundreds. I know it's that many.
It's about 250.
Right. That's hundreds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those are the ones you're acknowledging. So you're acknowledging 250 innocent victims. All right, now how many criminals are killed by gun owners in there where they're getting attacked by an actual fucking criminal?
What is that number, Gary?
How many what?
How many people defend themselves with firearms each year in this country? Do you know that?
But maybe they wouldn't need to defend themselves so much if there weren't already so many fucking guns in circulation in the first place. This is the catch-22 that people don't seem to realise. You know, yeah, they do help to. It's a completely logical stand to take, and I understand it.
I agree with
that
you
people
there,
want to keep the gun rights in order to protect themselves. But you're only having to do that in the first place because there's so many fucking guns out there that you're getting shot at on the other side of the equation. You know, that's the catch-22 you're in there. And it's a logical position to take that you want to protect yourself, but that is because of the fucking situation you're in. You know what I mean? From an outside observer, this is how I see it. I get told I shouldn't really have a fucking opinion on it because I'm not in that situation, but looking in, you know, yeah, I can understand you want to protect yourself, but that's only because you've got so many fucking guns in circulation, guns on every corner shop, you know, guns in fucking Walmart until recently or whatever, you know, it's crazy.
I agree with you there, Uj. If there were no guns in this country at all, there would be no gun crime. We'd still have crime, but there would be no gun crime. But, you know, there's probably something on the north side of 200 million guns in this country, and that is not changing. So we have to make decisions based on the reality that we're faced with.
No, we have to make decisions based on our responsibilities to civilization, okay? So you're either going to finance that industry or you're not. You're either going to support that or you're not. And so that's the difference. I mean, I'm not for, again, I've said it before, but I don't care about the law. The law is going to be irrelevant to this equation. You can't stop people from being assholes. But the point is that people's dependency on violence is a solution. That's why we're in Iraq. That's why we are going to fail as a civilization, because violence is not the solution.
Rezu, you say illegal versions of Stickam will still acquire them. Yeah, obviously that's the case.
And you keep mouthing this utter nonsense. There's just these. Hang on a second, Uj. These slogans like, you know, violence is not the answer. Wouldn't you rather ask what the question is first? For most of life's problems, violence is not the answer. For certain of life's questions, violence is the answer. If somebody flies buildings,
again, it's not. It's not statistically the answer. And the point is, Remy, a dependency.
If a woman is alone in her house in the middle of the night and some crazy ass breaks into the house, then yes, violence may well be the answer.
All right, and we know statistically that the odds are that fucking weapon is more likely to kill her own goddamn kid first than it is going to kill a rapist. That's the fucking truth.
And there you go. Again, you're
It's
just
not
pulling-
pulled. No,
pulling
Remy.
out
It's the
statistics out of
statistics
your
are
ass.
there. Okay, you've got these hundreds of kids, these hundreds of people every year who are killed by guns that people own. Okay, and they're used not to kill a criminal, but to kill an ex-wife or to kill somebody else or to go on a rampage or all these other things. All right, and so it's just bullshit to sit there and say that there's some rape that was stopped because of these guns. And you know, rationally, that if rapists have the expectation that women are going to be armed, that they're not going to just not rape. They're just going to find softer targets, or they're going to go in harder. Okay, they're going to go in. They're going to go in prepared for that scenario, which means that they're more likely that the rape will end in a fatal confrontation. Okay, that the woman's going to be not only raped but dead. It is psychology, Remy. One piece of psychology leads to other psychology, and it just this dependency on guns as a symbol of anything is a psychology that I'm saying that if people can't give, it's like the vegetarian thing, it's like other things. This is a symbol. If people can't give up this stupid thing, they're not going to be able to do what they're going to need to do to survive in the future. And that's all my argument is built out of, is the fact that this is a psychological symbol. This is a watershed. This is a point where people can demonstrate that they can live without something, that they can invest in civilization. All right, but instead they're saying, I need my gun because I might have to shoot Thomas Jefferson. I mean, that's their fucking logic. Oh yeah, we have rights to guns because when they wrote the Constitution, they wanted to put a clause in there so they would shoot the Founding Fathers. That was the plan. They deliberately put the clause in there so men had guns so they could actually shoot Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and the rest of the Founding Fathers. The idea was to kill the government. That's why they have gun rights. It's because we needed to have the right to kill our government. I mean, what a pile of crap!
Okay, let me respond to that, because that was very revealing what you just said. You said, the whole issue for you is symbolic. Let's invest in civilization. So, you might as well give up the idea that you're making any kind of argument based on statistics or evidence or empirical data or anything like that. For you, this is it's a profession of faith. And fine, if that's your profession of faith, I can dig that. I can deal with that. But let's not confuse professions of faith with arguments based on evidence.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm making both arguments. I don't think there's any practical results from people owning guns. It isn't successful as a personal survival strategy. All right? Statistically, the bullets are more likely to end up in somebody you care about rather than in somebody you hate. That's just statistically where the bullets end up. All right, so I think it's both as a pragmatic argument, it's there, and my point is the overriding argument, why I'm not for legislation, is that it requires a mindset that needs to change. You can't change it with a stupid law. You have to change it because people are going to invest in civilization. That has to be a willful choice. It can't be forced.
And when people invest in civilization en masse, then I will give up my guns.
I was just going to ask you, I'm just saying that's better than nothing. To move in a general sense, what do you think of that proposition?
Well, we just said if we can get 70% of people to let go of their guns, then Remy will give up his guns, right? So if we can get the majority of people to give up their right to own guns, just let go of the guns, not buy guns, then that would be good enough for you. You'd say, okay, I'll go with the majority. I don't need a law.
Well, we'd still have to get rid of all the ones that are out there, which ain't going to happen. Uj, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was just saying, if we're talking about a direction to move in, what would you think about that proposition to allow guns to be taken to colleges? I mean, what do you think